After my parents passed, my sister got $28 million and threw me out. Then the lawyer asked one question that changed everything. I was 24 when a drunk driver took both my parents in one night. Mom and dad were coming home from their anniversary dinner. They never made it. My older sister Brittany flew in from California acting like a grieving daughter, crying at the funeral, hugging relatives she hadn't spoken to in years. I was too numb to cry. I'd been living with my parents, helping dad with his business while finishing my last year of college. Brittany had moved away at 18 and barely called except when she needed money. 3 days after the funeral, the lawyer called us both to his office for the will reading. Brittany showed up in designer clothes with her husband Kevin, who kept checking his watch like he had somewhere better to be. I wore the only suit I owned, the same one from the funeral. The lawyer, Mr. Henderson, read through the basics first. The house, the cars, some savings accounts, then he got to the big number. My father's tech company, the one he'd built from nothing over 30 years, had just been acquired 2 months before the accident. The total estate value was $28.4 million. Brittany's eyes went wide. She squeezed Kevin's hand. I just sat there, still feeling nothing. Mr. Henderson cleared his throat. According to the will dated March of 2019, the entire estate goes to Brittany Adams. I blinked. What? Brittany was already smiling, tears streaming down her face. They knew I'd take care of things. They trusted me. Kevin was typing on his phone, probably already planning how to spend it. I looked at Mr. Henderson. There must be something wrong. I've been here for 6 years helping dad build that company. I turned down job offers to stay. He told me he was going to take care of me. Mr. Henderson shook his head slowly. I'm sorry, son. This is the most recent will we have on file. Brittany stood up. All business now. Well, that settles it. She looked at me with something close to pity. I'm going to need you out of the house by Friday. We're selling it. I stared at her. That's my home. It's my house now. Friday. She walked out with Kevin, already on the phone with the realtor. I spent the next 2 days in shock, packing my entire life into boxes. Brittany didn't help, didn't even come by. She sent movers on Friday morning who watched me carry my stuff to my car. I moved into my friend's basement with 2 suitcases and $2,300 in my bank account. Everything I'd worked for, gone. Brittany sold the house in 3 weeks, way undervalued because she wanted fast cash. She and Kevin bought a mansion, posted pictures everywhere, went on trips. Meanwhile, I was sleeping on an air mattress, applying for jobs and trying not to fall apart. 2 months later, I got a call from Mr. Henderson. He needed to see me immediately. I almost didn't go. What was the point? But something in his voice made me drive to his office that afternoon. When I walked in, Brittany was already there, looking annoyed. What's this about? I have a flight to catch. Mr. Henderson sat behind his desk, a thick folder in front of him. He looked at Brittany for a long moment, then asked one simple question. Mrs. Adams, did you visit your parents on February 14th of this year? Brittany froze. Her face went pale. I don't remember. Mr. Henderson opened the folder. Because I have security footage from your parents' home showing you entering on that date. You were there for approximately 45 minutes. The same day your father's home office was accessed and several documents were moved. Brittany laughed nervously. So what? I visited my parents. That's not a crime. Mr. Henderson pulled out a piece of paper. Your father came to see me on February 28th. He was very upset. He told me he suspected someone had tampered with documents in his office. He asked me to look into it. Unfortunately, the accident happened before we could meet again. My heart started pounding. Mr. Henderson continued. Last week, I finally finished my investigation. I found something interesting. The will I read 2 months ago. The one from March 2019. That's not your father's most recent will. Brittany's lawyer cut in. That's impossible. We verified it. Mr. Henderson smiled, but it wasn't friendly. You verified what was in the file, but your father kept a backup of all important documents on a secure server. Your sister knew about the home office, but she didn't know about the server. He slid another document across the table. This is your father's actual final will, dated January of this year. Brittany grabbed for it, but Mr. Henderson pulled it back. Let me summarize. The estate is to be split 80 to 20. 80% to his son, who he describes as his true partner in building his life's work. 20% to his daughter, with the note that she receives anything at all only because your mother insisted. Brittany exploded. That's fake. He would never. But Mr. Henderson wasn't done. I've also turned over the security footage and my findings to the district attorney. Tampering with a will is a felony. You may want to contact a criminal defense attorney before you catch that flight. Brittany looked at me, and for the first time in my life, I saw fear in her eyes. You can't do this. We're family. I thought about the basement, the air mattress, the $2,300 that was almost gone. I thought about 6 years of working beside dad while she couldn't even call on his birthday. I thought about Friday morning, watching movers take over my childhood home while she didn't even show up. I stood up and looked at her. You threw me out in 3 days. You can find your own lawyer. I walked out of that office into the afternoon sun. My phone was already ringing. It was Kevin, probably calling to beg. I let it go to voicemail. Behind me, I could hear Brittany screaming at Mr. Henderson that this wasn't over, but it was. Dad had seen through her his whole life. He just made sure that in the end, the truth would come out.